Hello everyone, this is Dan here with one of the most amazing inventions in Minecraft history, or at least a portion of it. No, my 5-minute attempt at making a few pillars on golden blocks and all of this area isn't it. This is just where you spawn when you load up the world I provided for download in the description. Let's click the button and teleport to the focus of this video. And let's cut the dramatic music. Here we are, over the ocean, so there's less randomness in the generation and a very familiar mushroom island off in the distance. Anyway, back to the reason we're here. For those of you who have not yet seen Panda's video, I suggest pausing this video and going to see his, but I digress. This over here is the Cobra. Now, you may wonder what it does, and let me just show you. Right over here, we go to here. Let me see what I'm actually doing. What you do is you get some pistons, you get some redstone blocks. I actually provided exact amounts you need here, but in this case, I'm just not going to follow it since I'm not actually pushing it the entire way. So what you need to do, actually, you know what, fine. Here. What you need to do is you need to get all of that from here. You need to go game mode 0. There we go. And starting from here, you need to alternate these blocks. So we'll start from the red block there and the piston there. Here we go. As you notice, that light is on, meaning, we are not done. You shouldn't place any blocks if that is off. So we just go over here, we click the button, and it just starts going. It pushes forward, and the entire build there gets pushed forward. Notice it's on, so it's still placing. Let me go game mode 1 again. It's only got 2 more pushes, so let me set up 1 more push over here, just so we can actually see it. One, 2, such game mode 1. Then you click the button and you fly over and you watch as the entire thing moves up 1 block. Well, several blocks actually, because it's slightly automated. But there you go. See how it moves? Right, so the way it works is it pushes forward, and every 2 blocks the entire thing moves forward exactly 13 blocks. And remains in exactly this configuration. If you push it 1 only instead of in sets of 2, then there's slight problems because it gets offset. But anyway, we won't focus on that. The entire point of this is that this setup here, made out of diamond blocks, because I like diamonds, obviously. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, we need to push this entire thing forward. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't want to push all of that with just pistons and infinite bridges, so the way I set it up is you can only do it with this single 2-block piston bridge. And that was probably the simple explanation. It just has a counter here, so you know exactly when it's done, and you control the amount of time because you've got just enough redstone blocks and pistons to push it to exactly where you want it to. So let's get slightly more technical. Now, you may be wondering why you want to do this, and the reason is because using this, we can actually force spawners to generate. It's actually extremely technical, and there's quite a bit of game code work to be done here, and I think Panda will be doing a video on exactly how to do it. But if I go here and I teleport myself, exactly 400 blocks in the direction I'm currently looking at, I should appear right here. Right on top of the spawner that I built up, just to show you what we're talking about. Naturally, you can tell it didn't actually generate, it's just a big spawner, I just placed it just to show it to you. But there it is. If you look at the coordinates, just stand here, F3, there's the coordinates, 5349, 117, and 1861. Yeah, there we go. So those are the coordinates that you need to get. Well, realistically, that's one higher. It's actually 116 height because the spawner will be put on this floor level, and we're currently standing on top of the spawner. But yeah, that's something you need to find out from Panda as to how to use his tools to find out where exactly the spawners can possibly generate. So that depends on chunk, and there's quite a lot of variability there, but mostly it's seed based. So the seed randomly selects it, and there's 8 locations in each chunk where the spawner can possibly generate. Naturally, the spawner has very high limitations on the blocks it requires around it to generate, so you don't actually get the 8 spawners per chunk in an actual world. The reason we're over the ocean is there's a lot less randomness happening, so, you know, sorry about that. So the chance of it actually spawning is a lot, well, almost 100% really if you do it properly. Anyway, what you need to do to get the spawner to spawn is before this chunk is populated, not generated, but populated, and that's a very important distinction, you need to have, or it needs to have these blocks all around it. Now the roof and the floor and everything can be 7 by 7, 7 by 9, 9 by 7, or 9 by 9. But as you can imagine, a 9 by 9 works for everything, so we just build it for the safe amount of 9 by 9. They are actually connected to the spawner, so if if the spawner needs only 7 by 7 to spawn, you actually only need to build 7 by 7 and you'll be fine. Anyway, let's remove these chests because they're no longer necessary. So if this is a 9 by 9, what it needs is this 9 by 9 floor, this 9 by 9 ceiling, and this wall around it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually meant to use gold blocks, but fine. Anyway, these 5 should be open. Note that the wall doesn't have to be on that height, it can be on this height as well. We just need to extend it, and yeah, it still works. It's just that because the chests require a wall next to them, you won't get any chests in this case. Anyway, that's just bit of brief introduction. Anyway, in case of the smaller spawn sizes, they will actually be looking for a wall here. So what we do is we just provide a wall for them. Just in case, you know, it's helpful. And there we go. At the moment, this setup, without the spawner in the center obviously, will generate the spawner no matter what the configuration of the spawner. Note that the spawner type is random, so it can be skeleton, it can be a spider, or a zombie, and I think those are the only three things. Yeah, that's probably the only 3. Anyway, so what we need to do is just a bit more randomness to get the spawner we want. So if you've got place block commands, or you know, this works in the newer versions as well. I'm just actually in 1.6.4 because this world we found that the spawner generation is right there in 1.6.4, so that's the one I'll be doing. So if you're downloading the map and trying it out, please use Minecraft 1.6.4 version, because otherwise it won't work. It's you know, generation specific, so I think 1.6.2 would also work, but anyway, just stick to that. Right, where was I? Of course, if you want to generate something, a very specific one, what you can do is you can place blocks right under here. What it does is, you see, when the spawner generates, it creates the floor only if there's this block beneath. So at the moment, because there's blocks only here, actually all of these, all around it, will not actually be generated. So you'll be just left with a single line like that, stretching all the way to the end. But as you can imagine, for every single one of these floor blocks that I placed here, it does a random check to find out whether it needs to be cobblestone or whether it needs to be mossy stone. And that adds just a bit more randomness, so that when it places the spawner, it, well, let's just say it randomizes. So, what you need to do is you just need to create the spawner, check the spawner type. If it's not the spawner type you want, you just add that single block at the end, check the spawner type. If it's not what you want, you add another one, run the entire system again. If it's not what you want, reload everything. Note that by reload everything, I mean load the backup where these chunks have not been loaded, and push the entire thing in again. You can do this with place block commands, but yeah, that's a bit technical once again. So yeah, if you know how to do it, nice going. If you don't, just stick with the Cobra and you're good. Just make sure you back up everything, and that's very helpful. Alright, so next one. At some point or another, you will get a skeleton spawner. At least if you're insanely unlucky, you may not. I mean, at one of the locations we needed like 31 blocks to get a skeleton spawner, and none of the others worked. But yeah, you know, in most cases, that's not how it works, so you're virtually guaranteed on being able to select the spawner type you want. Alright, that basically covers it. So I will actually load up my backup of this world. Let's see. Actually, one last thing I should mention, and this is very important, is please check my X coordinate system. More importantly, the chunk. So we actually have the chunk border right here. So that's one chunk going this way, and let's just continue it down to the 15 point. So that is one chunk. Note that the entire spawner is inside one chunk. If the spawner is on the edge, so it's on the border and has two of them, this will not work. And, well, okay, it may crash your game, it may destroy your world, it may not spawn in the spawner, or you may be lucky and it will. Yeah, it's just way too much work for you to get into unless you know exactly what you're doing. So just stick with finding spawners which are perfectly aligned inside a single chunk. So then we just select where we want to move it from. At the moment down at the south is where I teleported from. You can honestly go from either direction you want. So let's teleport back, /TP. I wonder if I need the @p. That and 400. Alright, there we go. So what you want to do is find the exact location of the spawner and place this gold block exactly 400 blocks from the spawner facing towards the spawner. So in other words, if I had a spawner and I don't have one in the inventory, it would be standing exactly where the gold block is, just 400 blocks that way. If I stand on top of it, I should get exactly the same XYZ values as if I was standing on top of the spawner, except that, well, at the moment the Z value, as you can see, is less on the spawner. So there we go. Teleport, what is it? 5349 117 1861. That should get me right on top of the spawner. There you go, see? And now let's teleport back. And I'm right on top of it. So that is very important. I can't stress enough, because if you do not place this gold block right, you will not be able to generate it properly. It has some slight plus minus if it's not a 9x9, so you may be okay if you place it here or here, but just don't, honestly. If you place it right, you will succeed, unless you do something horribly messed up, like load the chunks before. So make sure you're going into ungenerated chunk territory. That's quite important as well. Anyway, once you've set this up, that's exactly 400 blocks away. There's another one right here, which is exactly 390 blocks from the spawner, which is just 10 blocks off. And right next to it is exactly 64 blocks from the Cobra head center at start. That would be this gold block here. As you can see, there was a hole in there that it kind of pushed through. But yeah, there it is. So if the Cobra was in its initial starting position before I pushed it, that is where the Cobra head center would be, and that would be, well, where it would generate normally. So that gold block was actually right over here, I believe. Yep, there we go. So that gold block was actually here, back before I started pushing. So yeah, that is where you need to start building from. Anyway, I think that's about it for my explanation, and we can get into the actual tutorial. The only thing is this entire part here is just a, well, slightly simple cobblestone generator. Well, the way it works is when you click the button, the signal gets sent into here, turning on this RS NOR latch, which causes this clock to just keep pulsing. It's got, what, 4, 4, 4, and 3 clock here. And every time it turns on, it sends a pulse here, which gets shortened to a single pulse to push the cobblestone up. At the same time, it sends another one here, which is on a slight delay of 4 ticks going up to here. So this one gets pushed 5 ticks, then after 4 ticks after that, this one gets pushed. Then because of this setup, 4 ticks later, this one gets pushed, and 4 ticks later, that one. So it kind of goes like, you know, pushes 1, 4 ticks later, this one, 4 ticks later, this one, 4 ticks later, this one. And yes, you do in fact need to do that. You can skip the very last one, but it just requires so much redstone to make it do it only 3 times instead of 4. It's sort of pointless. Plus, you have to remember that cobblestone generators aren't instant, and there's actually a very specific timing that needs to happen so that the Cobra doesn't break. So this is just the safe, reliable method. One last thing is, this is the kind of interesting part. As you notice, if you've got your amount here and don't mess with that, you will actually probably succeed, because right here, if I place it incorrectly, there you go. Notice it's on the same side, so this would fail because, you know, it needs to alternate like so. But now let's say I just missed it, and I click it and I tell it to go. Yeah, that's it. It basically does nothing. As you can see, even the counter here doesn't change anything because that counter is connected to this block right here, right underneath here. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Let's just wait for that. I can easily fix that, not that it really matters at the moment. But yeah, at the moment, whoops, there is the redstone wire here, so when this redstone block gets on it and then comes off, well, gets on it the first time, an item passes through here for the counter. So even if you mess it up incorrectly here, it won't actually move, so the counter is still going fine. All you need to do here is come here, destroy the two you placed, and place them correctly, and start pushing. Alright, so that is it for my explanation of what it is and how it works. So yeah, let's get down to the actual building. Well, alright, fine. Before we get that, you can, for those of you who don't want to know the actual theory behind it and just want to build this thing, go ahead and skip probably the next 5 minutes or so. For those of you who do, I will just do a brief explanation of how this entire piston contraption actually works. And here we are in one of my creative worlds where I just do a lot of testing. So let me just build up a very simple stage infinite bridge. Here we go. So that's a very simple infinite bridge. The way it works is you have to press this one, then you press this one, and everything moves forward. You don't actually have to do that. You can connect them both so they get clicked at the same time. You just still need to do it twice, but it's better that way because of what comes next. Right here at the very end, what you want to do is replace it like that. So it's a sticky piston with a redstone block, and another block, and a redstone block after it. And now that is a very simple change that I came up with to switch it from this into the piston monorail designs. So when we put in blocks and we proceed to push it forward, it pushes forward like that, and then like that, so the redstone retracts by 1. And that is very important because the next stage is we need to do put the piston monorail right on top. Alright, so the way this works is we have a piston here, another piston here, and a non-sticky piston right there. So that acts right here as a monorail. Without these, it actually still works. Let me show you. We go over here, we once again proceed this once, and then we proceed that once, and everything moves forward by 1. Alright, but you can't really connect anything to this here, which is why we do the secondary build, where we place that there, another block, and another redstone. There we go, one here, and whoops, I'm messing up here already. Redstone there, and block there. There we go, and redstone on top. So what this means is that, once again, this one right here will extend and retract, meaning that if we put another one here and here, it'll be pretty much the same as that bottom one, but up by 1. So let's do it again. Nothing beats visual confirmation. So there we go, we pushed it up 1, and then we put another one, and everything pushes forward by 1. Notice it alternates, so in here there's a space, and here there isn't. If I push it halfway, the two will change. And but afterwards, we can just build exactly the same thing next. One here, one. Sorry, messing up again. One here, one right on the back here, and a sticky piston, non-sticky piston there, and a redstone block here. Skip 1, like so, and another redstone block here. Now, you can probably see the pattern. It just keeps going, and you can stack them as far as you want. In fact, you can stack them in several different directions, so we can also stack it sideways, like so. And here we go. So there we go. It's just pretty much the same thing. We're just stacking it slightly. Let's put another line of pistons here. Yes, see? It's actually very nice that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed one, but if it's 5 between each, you can't actually break it that way. So which is exceptionally helpful, because anything that provides you with options like that is very nice. So there we go. We just push it forward by 1. If you notice, it changed states. Not sure if you actually noticed, but this one before was the block space block, red block, and now it's one solid like so. But anyway, I digress. There we go. Let's see. What else can I talk about? Right, right over here, there's the next step. What we can do? Not there. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, let's just skip that point. Anyway, yeah, you can just keep doing that there, doing the same thing. The only thing you can't do with these is you can't put them down. Even in here, see this one? We could try and build exactly the same thing as we did before, just over here with a piston here, another one here, and notice it extended. It will not extend if we put it here because of butting issues. So you can't actually get this to go down, only up and sideways. And that makes things a lot more difficult to work with, but what you can do, in fact, is set it up like so, with one here and one facing that way. And it will actually still work. Let's push it by 1, push it by 1 again, and as you notice, the entire thing still moves forward. In fact, going down, we can set up pretty much the same one down one level below, and it will actually still work, because once again the weird redstone butting issues. But there you go. Let's push it forward one more, and that will probably be it for this portion. We just moved it forward, so we just shifted one forward. Alright, and it's quite complex to get this set up so that first of all it pushes a solid line instead of having breaks in between, and second of all, as I hope you remember, what it needs to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It needs to push a line of 9 blocks, which in here may seem simple, but in here, the next line, yeah, you can't stretch it that far because it just won't work. So yeah, I had to go through a lot of work to get the Cobra set up so it does exactly what we wanted to do using these techniques. So let's get right back down to it and start the actual tutorial for how to build the Cobra, since I'm sure that all of you are looking forward to that. And we are back in this world again with one of the Cobras already built up for the tutorial portion of this video. Right here is another golden block, so there is in fact another spawner which is possible to spawn exactly 400 blocks away from here. There's one there and one there. If you check, this is important again, we are in fact in one chunk area for this, plus minus 4. So the actual spawner max size would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are currently in chunk 335, and we're still in 335. This would be 334 right there, and this would be 336 right there. But this entire line is still in one chunk, so we are fine. If you followed the tutorial, this video before, you kind of know where I'm getting at from about this, but fine. Anyway, so that is the block, exactly 400 blocks away is the spawner. Then we go off 10 points to create this block, which is exactly 390 blocks away. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, exactly 8 down. We get ourselves some pistons, and this will be the cobblestone generator. Right along the bottom, we place 2 of them, like that. Then we break all of these because they are no longer needed, and we start building right from here. First of all, we get some glass and we get some iron. This right here is going to be the cage for the lava, just like that. And over here is going to be the cage for water. So first we use solid blocks here, then 2 there. We go up. This one is solid. Then we go up again, and once again this one has to be solid, and those have to be see-through or transparent, not full solid blocks, so glass would be suggested. Go off to the side, build up this triangular shape, off to the side, and build up the same one. So there we go, and that should hold. So if we get some water at the moment and some lava at the next one, we can place water here, And we can place lava here, and it will form a cobblestone block right along where it's supposed to. Going down to the bottom, we can extend that 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1 down. And this is going to be where we feed power to the pistons. So we need some redstone repeaters, some redstone, and a sticky piston. We place the repeaters there, connect them, bring them down, we leave them on 1 tick, place a sticky piston right there and a solid block along it. Off to the side we put a repeater facing in. That's a very simple pulse shortener. Bring it out 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And off to the side like that. So just this shape. We go over here, and starting from here we go 1, 2 repeaters and 2 back. Set them to 4 ticks. You can set this officially to 3, but just go with 4 even. It's only a single tick really. It just makes checking if your design works fine or not easier if you have everything even there. Connect that, connect those, place redstone out there, place another one here, and a repeater facing out on the default 1 tick. Place redstone, a block there, bring it up, bring it 1 more up, place a sticky piston right on top with a block on top of it, and connect it all with redstone line right next to it. Then we can place another block out of it, and another repeater out, and that's another pulse limiter, shortener, whatever. Bring that out, another block there, bring this block up. Actually just, fill that up, doesn't really matter. Then we're going to need some half slabs, so place a half slab there, place a half slab there, there, and then bring it out. Mistake, stupid. Sorry about that. Break that one. What you're going to need is actually to bring it out from above here. So bring that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's good. Bring out the redstone here, here, here. Break this one. Then redstone there, and repeaters alongside at 4 ticks each. So it should be like that. Alright, after that we need to connect a bit more redstone line here and connect the pistons here. Let's start with the pistons. Close that off, and possibly this off as well, and this side too. For now at least, that should be enough. Let's put that, and pistons there. So that would be the one that gets pushed. If you want to make sure, at the moment this is a very good time to make sure you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's how it should be. There should be exactly 5 blocks, and it should land exactly on that spot there. That's from the block, which is exactly 390 blocks away from the spawner, in whichever direction you are trying to build the Cobra to be facing in. So the spawner would be in that area. Alright. Yeah, I know I'm stressing that point a lot, but it truly is important, because if you don't build that properly, then everything else is completely useless. So just cover that up and place 2 repeaters, another one here. Set this one to 4 ticks, leave the other ones at 1. Connect them, and we can't bring that over because we need another block. Let's bring that over, and we just need to connect it here. So solid block there and a half stone slab there. The reason for that is that we want this redstone line to go up and connect here, but we don't want it to go back to the back, so it just connects like that, and we can connect it all the way to there. Alright, so that's that portion done, and now we just need the clock portion here and the button along here. Let's do the button first. Block there, bring it down 1 more. Then notice this is the reason why it has to be glass, because there will be redstone line going down like that. And we just put a repeater there, redstone line, some more dust, and a button right there. Let me get the button so we can place it. There's the button. Then we can half slab that, so we've got a walkway. The way I did it, personally, I added in another button here just to give you an alternative of where you want to press in case you want to press while looking that way. You don't have to do this portion, but it's quite simple, so why not? You just bring it up to the side and put another redstone line going down, and it naturally doesn't affect any of the build, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. Then we need to do this counter. You can actually go without the counter, but the counter kind of tells you if you are done. You could just go by the items in the chest, so that's really up to you, but the counter is sort of helpful, so we'll just go with it. Notice how the button is here and the counter is 2 blocks off. Yes, I'm just saying that because I sort of forgot, so 1, 2 blocks, and this is where the counter is supposed to be. So what you have to remember is right over here, every 13 blocks there's going to be a redstone block right there. That's very important because we're going to be using that redstone block to count. So place a block down below, redstone dust on top of it, another block to the side, so we can put a dropper and a hopper right here. 1, 2, let's use a redstone lamp and a lever to lock the dropper in place. Like that, so it doesn't feed back. You can obviously use a chest instead, and it's one-time use, so it really doesn't matter that much. But I just prefer to have it so you can switch it off and all the items go back. Anyway, go over here and break the block we used to place it, and place redstone dust down below. And now we get some random items that you want to put in. And what we want is exactly 25 items in the dropper. Make sure you place it after you place the redstone, because otherwise it sends off one item right now, and that's not what we want. Leave that redstone block there because it's actually going to be part of the setup we're going to have, and if you destroy it and place it again, it'll go one counter and then you'd have to reset it, which would be sort of annoying. Close that off, bring that over, let's use a half-stone slab to half-stone slab it. Not that. And I think if we go down, that actually didn't. Oh, must be power that way. It's really weird mechanics that I'm still new to. Anyway, go like that, bring that up by 1. And we can break these actually and close it like that, I think. No. Apparently not. Sorry. Close that off back to the way it was. Like that. Go down to here, close that off, bring that down. And into this block, so we can set up a comparator into there, get ourselves some redstone torches, and just wire it all the way up, like that, break that one off to the side actually, like that, and just a, do we have any? We should have, I actually have it in my inventory. There we go, that's fine. Close that off, bring that over a bit, and go down. Notice these blocks, they're actually very useful because we can place redstone torch there, redstone torch there, and another one there, and replace this one with another light. Let's place 2 of them. What this does is when the light is on, that means it's currently pushing. At the current moment it's on because we aren't providing power into it, but yeah. Alright, so what we need to do is actually set up in here the RS-NOR latch, which will trigger this entire mechanism to turn on, and then we'll have a timer, or sorry, not a clock, a counter here, which will turn it off after 5 counts have already been done. So bring that over like so, place a redstone line there, place a torch right up there, and another one here. Let's break this for a moment so we can place the torch first and then replace it so it doesn't send in another signal, which would be, well, not so much annoying, but we'd have to fix that up. Notice these are connected. That is not what it's supposed to do, so we just place another block right above, so those lines are disconnected now, which they're supposed to be. This one kind of doesn't feed anything, so let's give it something to feed into and place a block in there. That'll send a signal through the block into here, triggering the RS-NOR latch and starting the counter. And the counter will keep going even after this turns off because of the RS-NOR latch. Slightly simple mechanics, but quite invaluable in quite a lot of cases. What we're going to need next is some droppers, so let's go right over here because I completely forgot how to build this and see this. So this right here is a very simple counter. I completely forgot who came up with it. If someone mentions it, I will put it in the description. It actually, part of it was my design with the hopper clock, or hopper counter, but then I linked it to a RS-NOR latch and used one of these replaced with hoppers instead. So yeah, you can say mine is completely different, and this is something else entirely. So yeah, I'll give credit if someone tells me who it was who came up with this. Anyway, 2 comparators out to the side into, not there, into these torches, and block right up top, and notice it will turn on that one right there. It's on right now. When the signal is sent, this will turn off, and when there's nothing left in this dropper, it'll turn it back on again, which is exactly what we want, because in here we place 6 items. 6, not 5, 6. That is important. I'll actually, maybe I'll get to explaining why. So we want is right on top another one, and another dropper facing into it, just like so. And just put a door into here. Here. There we go. This needs to be a door, or, you know, non-stackable item. So drop in a door into the dropper. Off to the side, just build up this, place a block on top, a comparator out from this one, and redstone dust connecting it, and into subtraction mode. What this means is that when you send in the signal, it will start counting, send off a signal into here. This dropper will go into here, and just every count, it'll go 1 off to this one until this one is empty. When it's empty, it will turn on this torch, meaning that this one will get powered and the clock will turn off. At the same time, it will cause the iron door from here to go into here, which will turn on this simple 1-tick clock, which will cause the items from this dropper to go back into this dropper. And once that's empty, it will turn on this torch again, causing the door from here to go back and turn off this clock. Very nice setup, very ingenious, and very helpful, especially in this case. That, in fact, actually finishes just about everything in this setup. Well, almost. Right here, what we want to do is we want to get ourselves a sign and place them right above. You can technically use obsidian or any other non-movable block, but signs are the best in this case. So let's click that button. It should turn off. Push them. Bring this up. Is it? Obviously. We forgot to go over here and turn this into subtraction mode. Alright, there we go. Let's send it off, and it takes a bit of time to get everything done. Whoops, I seem to have forgotten. Go over here and increase this to 4 ticks. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be that way. Yeah, exactly. Well, sometimes I forget things, see? So over here it's actually 4 ticks to make sure there's enough time for everything to get pushed up. Let's break all of that. And to make sure it works, we go over here, we get ourselves a piston, we get ourselves a block of redstone, and we set up this very simple setup using wool and blocks. Another one here, break that one. Well, fine, whatever. Just this very simple setup, and just to make sure it works, we click the button. It should turn on. First it pushes them, because there's blocks here. It tries to push them up, but it can't, so it just pushes those forwards. Then that's 2 actually, that's the 3rd count. This right here is the 4th count. Then here we go with the 5th count. And here comes the very last one, the number 6 count. And it should turn off, and it's all good. Now notice if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, that's 5 exactly. So the next time we can go over here and start off with the piston, redstone, and get everything going again. So let's break that for now. If there is any time you want to double check and make sure that all of this is aligned properly, I suggest doing it again now to make sure you're all good. That should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. That is it for the cobblestone generator. That's it for the 5-time counter and the 6-time pushing. That's it for the counter here. We can actually turn this off for the moment so that all the items get transferred, and we'll turn it on before we start the system. That's it for the late updates. That's basically it for this entire setup. We just need the actual Cobra head, and that's what's coming up next. Start off, 4 blocks. Those 4 need to be placed. I think it's 4. Should be 4. Yep, 4. Good. This is a very specific setup, which if you mess up just one tiny thing, you're completely screwed, so I'll be looking over at that build quite often. Place several blocks here. I suggest just using something like iron blocks, or something visible, so you know that that's the start of the Cobra head. Then we place a piston there, redstone block there, another 2 blocks, a sticky piston here, and ended off with not that, but 2 redstone blocks. Alright, as I already showed in my creative design world, this is just to translate it from the infinite piston into the piston monorail thing. So we bring it over 2, just like that, break that one, notice it's like that, and replace this one with that. So just, redstone block, 2, another redstone block, break this one. And now we need to do that. So this is very important. You want it to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 going up, and starting from the second one, we want it going off to the side a bit. So let's start from going up first. There's 2 different setups that can happen in here. So you're going to need some, let me actually use weight, iron blocks. I like iron blocks. We'll use iron blocks for these placeholder ones. We'll use redstone blocks. We'll use normal pistons, and we'll use sticky pistons. A very good setup. So if there's a space in between, you want to place the sticky piston right on top of the latest block, one behind it, and a normal piston on the other redstone block. So the setup is like that. The next setup is with the redstone block, a placeholder block, and another redstone block, because this one is extended. This one, there isn't a break in here. So notice this one is retracted, so there is a break. This one is extended, so there isn't. Then we place a sticky piston on that one, and another sticky piston here. Notice that is different from this, because when you place another redstone block, it's retracted and it's right in line. Right at the end, we place a normal piston right on top of it, so the setup is like that. Alright, that should give enough time for people to see it. Let me actually turn off F3. Didn't notice until now I had it on. So that's 1 step, that's 2 step. We need a total of 8, I believe I said. So 2 out, 1 redstone, break this one, and we just continue. Not there. Sticky, sticky, regular, redstone, block, redstone. Then sticky. Am I doing it right? Yes, I am. Sticky, redstone, another sticky in the back, and a regular there. Then, not that, 2 out, redstone, break that one, a sticky, a non-sticky, another redstone, regular redstone, and yeah, we're just continuing this, so I'll stop talking while I build this up. Alright, I think that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see, is that exactly the amount I need? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually exactly the amount we need. So let's continue here. What we do is, on that 8th one, we go off to the side again, up, and then off to the side twice. So let's do exactly that. The side ones are pretty much the same as what we did until now. So we just put piston, another piston, those are stickies, another 2 stickies off along the side, and non-stickies on that redstone block. Not there, there. Alright, and same thing, redstone block, they're extended, so just like that. And wait, do I need to go another one? Yes, I do. Alright, so we just do exactly the same as we did before. One there, one there, one there, one there, a regular piston facing the proper way, I said, and another one here. Then redstone block, 2 spacings, another redstone block, break one of them. Alright, there we go. Now we just need to bring it up 1. So let's do exactly that. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 there, and 2 non-stickies right there. Redstone block there, 2 spacing, 1 spacing, and 2 redstone blocks. So there you go. That's that setup. So now what we want to do is just extend it to there. So pretty much the same thing we've done until now. We just do it right here. So that would be what? 1 here, like that. Redstone block there and there. Going off to the side, we finish off with the regular non-stickies here. Just remember that the only non-stickies are the ones at the farthest back. Everything else is sticky. Yep. Going off to the side, 1, 2, redstone, break those. Alright, now we just repeat it, same process on this side. So 1, 2, 1 there, 1, 2, 1 here. I'm starting to wonder if a time lapse would be helpful here instead of me just showing it, but anyway, that will take some time to work, and I'm pretty sure you want it out faster than that. So there we go. The next thing to do is provide these. Some of them can be connected directly, others have this setup here, which I should have... Did we mess up somewhere? Ah, of course, yeah. Sorry about that. You don't need these because that's the very end, of course. So the next thing we want to do is place regular piston, and regular piston right here, and connect it to this setup right here. Just a line like that, and a sticky piston at those 3 points, like that. The next thing we want to do is connect that. So remember there's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces before that one. So let's just do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think, right? 4, 4. Right, and bring that over. I've used fences in my original design, so they're slightly see-through while you still know they're there. Let's just use regular bricks here, or iron in this case, because it really doesn't matter. And here we bring it up. Notice that this one is extended, so it connects directly. So does this one, but this one is retracted, so we leave a space. Like that. Let me give a nice brief overview, so you can check yours if you're building this to see if it's exactly what you need to do. Alright, the next one is this board. So this board is important because it does have a very specific starting, because as you notice, these ones with the red blocks have to be pushed first, and then these ones. So the ones that have to be pushed first are right there. These ones get pushed later. So let's go get right over here, and these ones are just regular pistons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Redstone block along the insides, then a block, just a regular placeholder block, a piston on the indents, and then redstone block on the inside. You can place redstone blocks here if you want, but you don't actually have to, so you can finish off like that. I did, but yeah, there's really no point. So you can just, because these ones you don't need because this one powers on 2 sides. Alright, so this right here is the end. Actually, you know what? Let me use diamond for this so you can, or, well, diamond. Just so you can tell which part is the cage, so that's 9. And going out, that would be 9 more. Actually, I'm not counting. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, 1. Why am I getting lag spikes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Extend that back, and I'll fill that up later off screen probably because you don't want to see me place all of that. For now, let's get to the very start and build up this portion. So what it needs to go is 2 off to the side, 1 up, 1, 2, 3 off to the side, 1 up. Remember, as I said, you can't go down, so it needs to be this way. And yeah, there's really a lot of problems with these setups, so it takes quite a lot of them to set it up. Anyway, back to here, starting from this one. Notice we can't actually start from this one because there's blocks here. Maybe I actually could have, because I could have started from this side. Too late now. So let's start from here. 1 here, 1 here, a normal piston there. These are all stickies. 1 there. Extend it twice, place a block, break that one, repeat the pattern. Sticky, sticky, non-sticky, redstone, placeholder redstone. So that's 1, 2. Now we need to go up, so let's do that. Sticky on top, a regular piston there, redstone block, extend that, another redstone block. Am I doing it right? I actually think I need to go one more. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I do. Good thing I caught that, because I'm thinking at the moment that it's slightly too close. There's something wrong. Alright, so actually don't build that one on top, build this one at the side. There we go. Really good thing I caught that. Okay, so regular piston at the back, 2 stickies at the front, that there, 2 placeholders. Redstone there. I'm talking for quite a long time now. Alright, and now we go up. Sticky, sticky, regular, redstone, placeholder redstone. That's 1 up. Now we go 1 to the side. So, sticky, sticky, regular, redstone, 2 placeholders, 1 is removed, redstone, and I think 1 more, right? No, actually a couple more, so we did with that, and 2 more actually we need, right, to get lined up with the center. That makes sense. Right, so let's go right over to here and continue. There, sticky, sticky, regular. I'm pretty sure you're getting tired of me sticking sticky and regular all the time, but yeah, not my fault. There's so much pistons in here. Hopefully you're actually following this without me talking, because I need a bit of time to rest my voice, so I'll just stop talking for a bit. Alright, that was enough. Let's get up, so we want 1 up, then 2 to the side, 1 up, 1 to the side. Pretty much the same setup as we had going here, but it needs to have a lot more redstone to get it to the height we want. Alright, so here we go. Let's bring it up. 1 here, sticky here, regular here, redstone, placeholder redstone. 1, not like that. 1 here, 1 here, 1 along the back. The very last one has to be a non-sticky, facing the correct way. Like that. 1 here, 1 here. Extend those. Redstone blocks, break the first ones. And yeah, I think 1 up is next. Let's just check. No, apparently I need to do 1 more. Oh well, good to know. Okay, where were we? We were right here. Not there, there. Wow, 2 mess ups in a row. 1 there, 1 there. Non-sticky, and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Alright, now we can go up. Alright, there we go. It's actually getting rather close to this one, but that's all good because it means we're close to completion. There, 1. There, 1 along the back, 1 along the back, and non-stickies at the very ends. Redstone, redstone, 2 blocks, redstone, redstone, break that, break that. Alright. We are getting very close. Yeah, I know that's quite a lot of work, especially if you want to do it multiple times. But, you know, that's the reason this isn't really overpowered, because it takes quite a lot of work and setup to get this working, so it's pretty much like any farm, really. You just put in a lot of work, so either you, just go ahead and kill skeletons, or, whoops, what am I doing? Either A, you go and kill skeletons, or B, you take your time to set up this farm, or this system, so you can create a spawner, so you can get multiple spawners. This really does equalize in the end, I think. Right, so there we go. Redstone there. Regular placement blocks, some more redstone. And we are at the moment right along here. Notice, there they are, right there. So this is the part where it gets slightly more difficult, because there's quite a bit of stuff we need to do to get this bottom line set up, and a bit more to get this top line set up. So let's get right to it. As far as I remember, you need to bring it up twice. So where were we? Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these ones are stickies. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then redstone. I'm pretty sure, hopefully most of you have realized the pattern that's going on, because, you know, it's really only two things that alternate themselves. So we go over here, more there. Yeah, do we actually need any actual redstone stuff there? Looks like it, doesn't it? Wow. Yeah, this thing is pretty big if you think about it. Oh well. Like that. And I think in here we don't actually have to place all of them. Yeah, just those are enough. These in the back, and these right along here. By those are enough, I mean we don't need the next layer here, because that's going to be the end. So let's get right to it. Sticky piston, sticky piston, sticky piston, sticky piston, and sticky piston. Regular pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 5. There we go. Alright, so that is this level. So we can actually put in this wall if we want to right at the moment. But at the moment, let's continue for the moment. I say moment a lot, wow. And just build that one. Right down below here is where we get the next setup with those. This is a bit more interesting. We put stickies there, 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 and there. Alright, and we can actually put in another layer right down below and right underneath there. We got a lot of sticky pistons here. Alright, there we go. What we want to do next is actually go along and put regular pistons right next to them. This is slightly more difficult, because you can't place those first and afterwards, because they would be powered by these ones and extend, and you want these ones to be extended instead of those. So we put them 1, 2, 3, 4. Something pushed something. I think, let's see, did I mess up something around there? I actually might have. Strange. Ah, whoops. Yeah, my mistake, my mistake. Stupid, you don't place anything there. Those are reserved for the redstone blocks. There we go. Hopefully everything else is set properly and I didn't mess up anything else. Alright, that's actually good. So yeah, notice that the ones with the redstone there, you do not push. You just leave them as they are. So you want them across from every sticky piston, not those ones. No wonder it didn't work. Alright, there we go. Let's put in that one. Break that. Break those two. And there we go. We need to continue that pattern going up. Like that. One here. One across these two. One at the bottom. Bottom. One here, one on bottom, and two here, and we just have these couple left here. 1, 2, 3 is where it's supposed to be. 1, 2. Okay, I'm really not getting this, am I? There we go. Alright, and we can break these ones. Can as in break them. They're just placeholders. Alright, so there we go. We've got this nice setup going. The only thing left is we want to actually extend these, so we've got a couple more blocks we can use right here. So the first thing you want to do is get these piston setups. It's pretty much the same, just set up right here. So sticky, sticky, and regular piston in there. And there we go, we can extend it from here. I'll actually use fences just so we can see a bit better through them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, there we go. That takes care of those, and now we just have this setup here left. This is a bit more tricky because you actually want it on, it's, as you can see, not a mirror image or not symmetrical, and you can't put another one here because things start messing up. So notice that these ones, the non-sticky pistons, are extended first. So let's get down here and actually do that. So the non-sticky piston here and a non-sticky piston here. And then a regular piston there and another one here, which we'll just use a block for. Alright, now let me just give a brief explanation of why you need two of them. See, this one right here is working off the bud power of this block here. But if we remove this one, which actually doesn't serve much point in actually pushing it forward, this one will trigger but not update. So you need to actually update the state of the pistons before it actually moves. So we set up these, which serve no other purpose than to move along with this entire setup and keep updating this one, which will be the one we'll be using for pushing. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Alright, and here we go with the actual build for the setup. I seem to have moved this already. Oh right, we messed up that one, or I messed up that one, so that one moved. Alright, let's fix that. We want a sticky on the redstone and a non-sticky on the side, facing the right way. There we go. I've been saying a lot of there we goes. So let's start from the very bottom. These layers, 1, 2, let me build them out of gold so you can actually see. And I will use, actually let me use red wool and pink wool. That seems like the best idea I've had. So right over here is where the spawner will be set up. So we're actually sacrificing some of these pistons, but that's fine. So right here is these and these. The reason I'm using red is there is some dependency on the size of the spawner. It can be either 7 by 7 long or 9 long. So these ones would only affect the spawner if it's 9 long. If it's 7 long, these don't matter. After which, these ones are the ones that get affected no matter the spawn size. And we have to make sure that we use just the right amount. So for these ones that come from here, we can use anything. There's 11 blocks we could push forward, and we need only 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another one at the end. So those 7 pink ones in the center would affect the randomness of any spawner, while the 2 red ones at the sides will affect them if it's a larger one. Obviously, if you're trying for it, remove all of this bottom layer. Start from only 1 block. If that doesn't work, add another one, another one, another one. I'm just showing you the actual maximum limits you can extend this to. This one is slightly more. You notice it needs to push this piston forward. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th one. 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's not a lot, but then again. So pretty much the same thing here. 10, 11, 12. And this one just goes to the very end. As do all of these here. So let's just do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. And the center one is slightly off because it's placed down here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so that gives you the blocks you can place for randomness. And now I'll use the gold block to show you, or actually diamond block to show you what you need to place next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the floor. It needs to be extend to 9, extend to 9, because of the way we set it up. All of these will get pushed. It has quite a lot of pushing because all the pushing happens right along this line, so it can go the entire way. Yeah, maybe I should really do a time lapse for me placing these blocks. I know. I'll just close the video when I place that one and come back. Alright, and I'm back. There's the ceiling, there's the floor. All of these I've already explained. For now, we need to do the wall. Remember that it needs to have a wall on all sides and it needs a 5-block opening. So the wall can actually be placed either here or here. If you place the wall here, you will have chests spawn in as well. So if the size of it is 9 by 9, all of those need to be filled in. All of that needs to be filled in. And these ones need to be in to provide it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Naturally, as you can imagine, these won't be pushed, so we actually need to extend all of this so it can push them. There we go. So if this was a 9 by 9 spawner, or 9 size spawner, what it'll do is it'll notice it can spawn in here because of the ceiling and the floor and the walls, so it'll spawn them. It'll destroy all of these blocks to create the 7 by 7 area along the inside. It'll get some chests, not trap chests, but you know what I'm talking about, and just place a couple of them along the walls. Note that for them to be placed, they need a bottom, an area. Actually, I don't think they need a place at the bottom. They just check the block at the side. So once it's broken, they will check if there is a wall there and place it. If there's an empty block there and that's not there and it's just empty, it'll still place it. It'll just be hovering. Alright, so that's that, but if it's a 7 long, this won't actually work. Well, actually it will because of these pistons above, but yeah. Just for simplicity's sake, we fill that up, providing a 2-thick wall on all sides. We leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the area for that. If you really want to, you can actually just fill this in, and I believe this works and leaves a single gap and might help make more chests. I'm not actually sure about that. Yeah, anyway. Along here, in case you don't want any chests, you can remove these walls and just have this go this way. Because it doesn't matter if the wall is built above or below, but that works. Let me fill that up. There we go. That is the spawn pad. Actually, we don't need that one, do we? Huh, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, let's remove that. There we go. And that is where the spawner would spawn in. You can tell it's in the center of this 9 by 9 block. And this is very important. Let's do a double check. You stand here, you go F3, record the coordinates, or in this case, teleport that 64. And yeah, I forgot to place that block, but there should be a second golden block here, and that's the one we will be teleported to because that's right 64 blocks away. So let's do that again. Teleport that, negative 64. I am right on the spawner. That's important because that means you've done everything right and the Cobra is now complete. Finished. You're done. Well, almost. Let's get ourselves a chest. Place the chest somewhere here. Get ourselves some sticky pistons and some redstone blocks and put in exactly 50 of them in here. Alright, now you are done. It's finished, complete. This is the world you will be getting for in the download section in the comment video description. So you will be getting this world, and if you stand at either one of them, pick up the pistons and redstone and place them in and extend them all the way to the end until you run out of these. Make sure you're in survival mode, because otherwise if you place anything it doesn't decrease the count that you have, or just place them until the light switches off, but it's a lot more consistent and you know everything works fine, and it's a lot safer if you just use these. But anyway, if you extend them all the way, and do not fly that way until they're fully extended, or else you'll mess up everything. But once they're fully extended to the very end, you can fly over and you will see a spawner in there. Yeah, I don't know what the spawner will actually be, because I just placed these on the maximum blocks here. But if this doesn't work, you can always break one, break another one, break another one. And yeah, every time you break one, you have to reload the entire world back from the backup, push in this entire thing to the very end, and try again. It may seem quite a lot of work, and that's because it is. I do have a suggestion, if you are willing to listen and didn't close the video and discuss the amount of work required by now. And that is that you can actually push this thing until you have only 10 items left in the chest and do a backup. After that, you can, right, if you want to do the, well, okay, if you're using MC Edit, and, you know, for testing purposes, I consider MC Edit to be a valid tool to use. What you can do is you can push it completely in, open it up with MC Edit, delete a block, fly over, see what happens, load the backup, and if that, you know, if it doesn't work, load MC Edit again, delete 2 blocks this time, and just keep repeating it until you get what you want. Otherwise, I think Panda might come up and give you a mod slash program that'll do all the computations for you, but I'm not sure about that. I'm just the technical guy to get this done. For the programming side of things, there's Panda and I think Cabo. So yeah, I'll leave that up to them. For now, for those of you who are still stuck with or sticking with me for the video, I will do a very quick time lapse of me pushing them forward. Yeah, I don't actually have another video camera to do the nice pushing forward that, well, let's see. If I do manage it, the next thing you'll see is the nice time lapse of these things moving forward. If not, I'll just show me placing a couple blocks at the very end and then flying over to see the spawners for, fine, both of them. It'll take me, it takes, what, 18 minutes to push one of these to the end, which is nothing compared to how much time you'd be building them, but still. Alright, well, let's go.
So I can just start whenever?
Yep. And in case anyone is wondering, that's Cabo PC down there pushing for me. Thanks, Cabo. Alright, so I pushed it out to only 12 left on both of them. So as you can see, there's 12 to go, 12 to go, and down below. Actually, I replaced this with a chest instead, which there was some butting issues which were annoying, so I just replaced it with a chest. So I suggest you do the same. So there's 6 left there and 19 there. 6 meaning, you know, multiplied by 2 because it only counts every other one. Pretty much the same here. And one thing I should mention is that at the moment we reached the loaded chunk border. So from now on we'll be going into uncharted territory here with these 12. And this is where it gets very important. As I mentioned before, each of these is in its own chunk. So as I, well, showed before, this one is getting pushed in one chunk. This one is getting pushed in another chunk, but none of them have the Cobra be split between 2 chunks. And that's very important, because what you want to do is you want to push one of them to the very end, then turn off and unload the map. So leave, or, you know, go to the nether. I think that also works. Basically what you want is that when all of that is pushed to the end, you want to unload all the chunks you pushed the stuff into. because if those are loaded, when you push another one next to it in, it might populate the chunks a bit early than you want, and you won't get the spawners you're looking for. So that's very important. In single player, it's rather simple. You just set it up, run it until it's at the very end, then you quit, come back, and do the other one. In multiplayer, as I mentioned, you may look into it, but I think going to the end or leaving the area and waiting for a bit for them to unload might work. I'm actually not sure what to do with the server. The only safe alternative for the server is definitely to just have everyone leave the map and come back, or have everyone leave and then restart the server even, just in case. I'm actually not sure, and that's something for Panda maybe to go over. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna push this one here to until it reaches the very end. Then I'm going to, since this is single player, I'm going to leave, come back, push the other one until the very end, and return back to you. Alright, and I have actually finished pushing them all to the very end with the entire low save load thing in between to make sure everything works. I made one more modification, and this will hopefully be the last one. I'm still trying to get this dropper to actually work because it sometimes has problems with, I guess, the butting issue here. But anyway, I've fed it into a torch going up, and that seems to work. That's actually more or less the same as I've had it in the original design I was using as a copy for. So yeah, anyway, so let's fly off into the distance here, and yeah, okay, I already know that there's going to be 2 spawners, but yeah, you probably don't. So let's see what we get, and the spawners can be any type really, so we'll be lucky if we have skeletons, quite unlucky if we have zombies, and if it's what is it, spiders, I guess we'll be okay. Hopefully they're both the same type though, because it's rather annoying if they aren't. Anyway, but it's completely random in this case, so okay. We've got one, we've got the second one, we've got a spider in one, and another spider in the other. Well, that's good. Not exactly skeleton material, but there you go. If you use the maximum, it works. You can also notice that this one, for example, was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's the 7th one? Oh, right, sorry. The wall is actually the 7th one. Never mind. So that was actually, there we go. It was a 9 by 7 spawner, whereas this one was a, well, actually, let's see. Yeah, you can't quite tell how big it was in this dimension because I didn't have any walls here. I just had walls up above. But yeah, it was at least a 5, maybe a 7, but definitely a 7 in length, I think, right? Anyway, so there you go. It works absolutely fine. I highly encourage you, if you plan on building this, to check it out. I've got the downloads in the description. I've got the first one, which is like the start, where I've only got one of these set up and the other one is empty, so you can just go ahead and build it there if you want. I've got the second one, which is the tutorial. I'm not exactly sure. Let me actually check. I've got that in my save folder, so I'll just go ahead and check it. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so the start is the start. The built one is the one with both of them there. The end one is the one right now. I haven't actually flew before I copied the end, so if you open it up with MC-Edit, you'll notice there actually aren't any mob spawners there, and they get created as you fly there. Make sure you are in Minecraft 1.6.4, otherwise it doesn't work. And there is the one with 12 left, which is pretty much the same as the built one, except I've advanced all of them up until you have 12 left. So if you don't feel like pushing all 50, you can just open that one and try it yourself as always. Right, so that's it, and that's about the end of the video. Now I'll just show you some outtakes, some funny moments while we were doing this, which resulted in some pretty hilarious formations, and is sort of the reason why you'd want to A, make a backup before you do this, and B, don't try and create this by using one version and then loading up the second one, proceeding forward a bit, and then realizing your mistake and loading up the old version. It sort of messes things around. Yeah. Anyway, let me load them up and show it to you. Alright, so here's the, well actually this is the second one, but I wanted to show it first. I'm actually completely unsure of how this happened. I believe it must have been something when I was playing around with MC Edit, and so I deleted them, but they were set to restructure themselves as something really weird. As you can see, the Cobras are up there, but it basically, even though the chunk hasn't been created, it tried to populate it, resulting in this. Yeah, don't ask how it worked, but I found it funny and I thought you might as well. So that's number 2 actually, and now for number 1. And this would be the other one. I actually have no idea why these blocks around it generated. That's 2 chunks, I believe, with the grass, because the last time I was here, it wasn't there. It was just this plantation here and the house. So actually don't ask how this managed to appear when world generation was literally over, but apparently it did, and I'm just about as clueless as you probably are. Anyway, it's a nice waterside library. If I can get in, there's a nice librarian willing to trade for apparently a compass in case you're lost at sea, and some nice bookshelves, and some food up there if you can climb it. So yeah, if you're actually wondering, you can probably tell by the shadows on the floor. Anyway, the Cobras are up there, and before I look up, you may want to ask yourself where the water well is, because it isn't around, and I think every single village has one, and it actually is, and it did generate. It's just slightly above the village. Yeah, it apparently generated inside the Cobra. As for other than that, out of the 4, 2 of them sort of failed. This was one of the earlier tests. This one didn't spawn because of interdependencies that we figured out much later, and we have the one of them that actually managed to spawn and become a skeleton spawner, so that's something at least. And now on to that. That's slightly more interesting as well. This is probably a water temple. Never actually seen one in Minecraft, but as this shows, apparently it is possible. You'll have to take my word that it's not MC edited, and I've been around just to see what is around. So yeah, we've got diamond horse armor, a bit of diamonds, and so yeah, nothing much really. Yeah, I've been talking for quite a bit in this video, so sorry about that. But yeah, just wanted to show you. It's rather interesting bit of generation. Some of the chunks were generated in the newer version, and some of them were older ones were populated by the newer one and the older one, and some of the mix-ups caused stuff like that to happen, which is why you should probably take backups before you do anything. Very highly suggested. Alright, so that's about it. I will be putting both of the outtakes in the download as well, just in case you want to check it out. So yeah, that's it from me. So like, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and I will see you in the next video.